Yeah. Am I audible and visible?
You are not visible, but oh yes, you are visible and audible. Yes.
Thank you, sir. So, a warm welcome to everyone to today's MOU signing ceremony and podcast organized by IPTSE Academy in collaboration with Swami Keshwavanand Institute of Technology, Management and Gramothan. As you may already be aware, IPTSE Academy is a venture of IP Ethicon, an Indian startup recognized by the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion and awarded by the World Intellectual Property Forum. IPTSE primarily administers India's first and one of its kind IP Olympiad, and the registrations for the fourth edition of the IP Olympiad have already begun. It is supported by organizations such as Ericsson, Indian Chamber of Commerce, Ministry of MSMEs, Mighty Startup Hub, NRDC, All India Council for Technical Education, and several others. I would now like to extend my warm gratitude to Sri Jaipal Meli, without whom today's interaction would have not been possible. He is a dynamic leader currently, holding the reins of SKIT as the director of the institute. He has a worthy experience of 21 years of looking after the family business along with the educational concerns of the institute. Shri Meeli believes that one's actions speak louder than words, and so he strives for putting the best foot forward for bringing up seminal transformations in all the domains he's involved with. It is with his persistence to excellence that SKIT has been ranked the number one institute for 5 years in a row under RTU affiliated institutes. Now, I would like to welcome him to say a few words and address the audience. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Arnav, and thank you so much for such a nice words for me. I'm really delighted. And I'm delighted to learn that IPSC, Intellectual Property Talent Search Examination, is the first and one of its kind annual IP Olympiad for intellectual property rights in India. It has been conceptualized and administered by IPTSE Academy and has received support from many organizations who believe in knowledge economy and believe in role of IP, role that IP plays in inclusive growth. Some of these organizations are AICT, Minister of Science and Technology, Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, Ministry of MSME, National Research Development Council, and many others. IP is protected in law by, for example, patent, copyright, and trademarks, which enable people to learn, recognize, and or financially benefit from what they invent or create. By striking the right balance between the interest of innovators and wider public interest, the IP system aims to foster an environment in which creativity and innovations can grow. I take pleasure in sharing that our institute has recently inaugurated IPR cell with the aim to spread the awareness about IPR among students and faculty members. The cell is organizing 1 week workshop during 21st till 29th October in the joint collaboration with the COE IP, CDAC. The IPR cell also formulating certifications course on IPR for PG students. So I hope that the students and faculty members will enthusiastically participate in IPTSE. Thank you so much. Over to you, Arun.
Thank you very much, sir, for your kind words. Now, I would quickly like to introduce Mr. Saurabh Sachdeva, the director of IPTSE, who has an extensive experience in the field of financing, banking, education, corporate strategy, industry mentorship, etc. His innovative and creative bent of mind led him to enter very early in the domain of intellectual properties with a knack of developing a culture in the country that creates and respects IPRs. I request him to kindly welcome you all with his remarks.
Thank you, Arnav. Thank you so much. And first of all, my special thanks to Shri Jaipal Milji, at least for this your wonderful words about the IPTC and about the IP culture in India. See, IP is something which is very important for everyone. I think an IP is everywhere. So even the IP is something which is the biggest contributor in terms of GDP. And I'm sure because the India is also growing, and we have to be a part of the India growth story. That's more important. And thank you so much. Thank you again, and thank you, Praveen ji, and thank you, Dr. Sheetal Chopra, for joining us today. So I'm thoroughly pleased to welcome you all to the inauguration of the MOU signing ceremony between IPTC Academy and Swami Keshwanand Institute of Technology, Jaipur. So it's actually a great and pride moment for all of us. It's my privilege to address you all on the behalf of the entire team of IPTSE and to welcome all the attendees to this joyous moment. We are truly delighted with your presence. So IPTSE has always worked for the enhancement in the understanding of the benefits of IP among students of various streams. And for this purpose, we organize several activities including webinars, conferences, debates, FDP programs. We are pleased to announce that we have launched our fourth edition of Intellectual Property Talent Search Examination, the first of its kind IP Olympiad, and the registrations are now open. So engineering and management students, along with the researchers and members of faculty, all are eligible to take part in this Olympiad. We urge all of you here to participate in this Olympiad and gain the highly coveted IP edge. Thank you so much. Over to you, Anna.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to invite both the directors to sign the MOU and show it on the camera for our audience to see, please.
Twentieth. Congratulations, Saurabh sir.
Sir, many congratulations. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you on behalf of my team. They are actually they have joined and sitting with me only, and they have all the gratitude for you.
Thank you, sir, and thanks to you.
Thank you very much to the both of you. Now my colleague Sasha Duggal will take us all through a brief presentation that discusses IPTSE and its registration in thorough detail. All the aspirants must be ears, otherwise you guys might miss out on some crucial information. The floor is yours, Sasha. Please begin with the presentation.
Thank you, Arnav. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yes, I will be sharing my screen now. Please tell me if it's visible. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
It is visible?
No, it's showing Sasha Duggal is starting to share content, but I can't see the screen.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about the Intellectual Property Talent Search Examination and its fourth edition. It is the first and one of its kind IP Olympiad. Now, what is IPTSE? I'm sure a lot of you students who are watching this live must be wondering what all of this event is about. IPTSE, or Intellectual Property Talent Search Examination, was launched in July 2018 and is the first and one of its kind annual IP Olympiad for intellectual property rights in India. It is an exam that certifies students for their knowledge in copyrights, patents, trademark, geographical indication, industrial design, trade secrets, etc. It is an event that has been conceptualized and administered by IPTSE Academy and has received support from many organizations who believe in the knowledge economy and the role that IP plays in inclusive growth. Some of these organizations include Ericsson, Creative First, Ministry of MSME, Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, AICTE, Indian Chamber of Commerce, etc. Now, why should you students choose IPTSE? Why should all of you students who come from different backgrounds, who study different things, care about an intellectual property Olympiad? Firstly, as I said before, it is the first and one of its kind Olympiad, which will get you recognition from government bodies and corporates. So today, if you're going out, whether you become a job creator or a job seeker, it is very important to have a competitive advantage because in the world, there's so much competition. So if you have certification in your knowledge of intellectual property from all of these corporates and governmental institutions, it will give you a competitive advantage in your career shaping. We also have exciting cash prizes and scholarships for our winners. So those who score well in the intellectual property Olympiad, who get good marks and crack the exam, get great scholarships and cash prizes that I'm going to be talking about in the upcoming slide. Learn and earn. We also help you learn and earn besides excelling in the knowledge of IP. So intellectual property talent search examination is not just limited to the Olympiad that we provide. There's also many other avenues in which we help you get a chance in working in the realm of intellectual property. So whether it's through our program for YouTube teachers, whether it's through our program with youth leaders on campus, there's a lot of avenues for you to collaborate with IPTSE, learn how to monetize as well as safeguard your creation. Internship opportunities. I'm sure that there's no word that scares and excites young college students today more than internships. It's a competitive world. We're all looking out to get a chance at working in a good organization, at learning in a good organization. And IPTSE really gives you that opportunity to learn well. We have internship opportunities. So, for example, you score well in the Olympiad, you crack the exam, we give you the opportunity to intern with our partner organizations. So, for example, Ericsson is one of our partner organizations, and if you score well, and if you'll have to give an interview once you're shortlisted. If you do well in that interview, you might as well get a chance to intern with Ericsson, with the people who work there, meet with IP experts, join their work, etc. Professional guidance and mentorship. As I said, they're not just limited to an Olympiad. Surely, the first step of working with us is through an Olympiad. But after that, we also provide you with professional guidance on how to reap monetary benefits of your creations globally. We also, to crack the Olympiad, provide you comprehensive course material, which is created at a cost basis by our research scholars under the supervision of IP experts. So you can be sure that once you have come under the umbrella of intellectual property talent search examination, you're going to receive a syllabus, you're going to receive course material, you're going to receive guidance and mentorship, you're going to get cash prizes, rewards, internship opportunities, competitive advantages, and a lot more. Now, why should you know about intellectual properties? I'm sure that a lot of students here might be wondering why they should care about IP when it is in no way related to what they're doing right now. Well, you'll be shocked to know, but IP is related to what you do. But before understanding that relation, we must understand the importance of IP in today's world. National recognition from the central government. Two students from Bihar were provided support from the central government on a device now registered by the patent office. So whether it was monetary support or it was technical support, the central government really helped these two young college students go out in the world, take their idea from the drawing board to the different parts of the world. Filing of patents now being seen as an achievement. Many university students are being encouraged to not just create intellectual property, but also safeguard it. But how will they learn to safeguard it? I'm sure many of you sitting here have dreams of creating something new, bringing a device in the world that's going to change the way people see this world. But how do you safeguard that device? How do you safeguard that creation? And in order to learn how to safeguard that, getting a certification from IPTSE will take you a long, long way. Better job offers to students with campus patent experience. The Economics Times reported this, and they said that there are clearly much better offers to students who have experience in patent filing on their campus, because this is something that organizations, MNCs today demand way more than any other kind of experience. Center has also reduced patent filing and prosecution fee by 80% for educational institutions to promote innovation and development. This only goes to show how important IP, how important patent filing, copyrights, trademarks have become now, that even the government, the central government, is encouraging young students, is encouraging so many universities to file patents, and even reducing its fee to encourage that. Now, how do you register for IP Olympiad? Firstly, you visit our website, which is www.iptsc.com. There, you will see a pop-up as is shown on the screen. And in that pop-up, you can click on register now and enroll yourself for the 4th edition of IPTSE. Then you can sign up your details and create your account. Once you've created your account, you will get a chance to choose one of the 2 plans that IPTSC offers. Those 2 plans, there's one which is a 399 plan, there's the other that's a 77 plan. And the key difference between the 2 is that they're both, the second one offers a lot of comprehensive course material. You'll find more of that in the upcoming slides. And that's it. You can now enjoy a variety of exclusive webinars, unique course material, mock tests, and more. And you will now be registered to give the IP Olympiad and the 4th edition of it that's going to be happening in the upcoming months. Now, reading course material offered by IPTSE. The ones that are ticked here, the ones that you see with the tick on screen, are course materials that are only provided in a premium pack, while the other 2 are actually also given in the basic pack. So there's so much reading course material we offer for students who are about to give this Olympiad. We have a booklet on career and monetization of IP. There's one on industrial application and competition law. Then one on role of prior art searching. What is prior art searching? Prior art is the art that is already created in the field of IPRs that you will be getting to study. Now, I'm sure a lot of you students sitting here would be really intimidated by hearing those titles. I mean, what will you understand of industrial application of competition law if you've not studied law? Or what will you know of prior art searching if you don't really know anything about the art that has already been created in the field of IP? Let me tell you guys, these are books that have been created by experts so that even lay persons can understand IP in its depth. So if your students, don't worry that you're not going to understand these things, that this is so much course material that you'll have to learn besides your studies that you're already doing. These are booklets, these are studies that you will genuinely be able to go out and read, and it's going to be something that will help you in the future. So it's not like you read this today, you're like, oh my God, how am I going to understand it? You will open the booklet and you'll realize, oh wow, this is information that really helps me in the real world today. We also have presentations on IP. So copyrights, patents, all of these things come under presentations for you students that will help you understand these things without, really needing to read all the information present on the internet. Now, why IPTSE for SKIT Jaipur? What are we going to provide your institution that isn't already there for them? Firstly, we have a Best College Award. Now, what this award does is that the institution that brings in maximum registrations for IPTSE gets this award. And I'm sure getting an award for registrations that shows that your students are participating in research and innovation is a matter of prestige, is something that any college would love to have. Also, as your director as well as IPTSE team were talking about earlier before this event started, rankings today really matter in colleges. If you're going for an institution, what's to institution at the best rankings really catches the eye of anybody, right? So whether it's the NAAC accreditation or the NIRF accredit rankings or the ARIA rankings, which are dependent on innovation achievements, all of these will really rise for your institution if you collaborate with IPTSE, because we are focused on innovation and creating new things, but also safeguarding these things. Awards. I'm sure this is something that's really exciting for everybody, besides the internship opportunities that we are already saying we provide. For our national champions, that are the All India rank holders, we have an award of rupees 40,000, 25,000, and 10,000 respectively for the All India rank 1, 2, and 3. Along with this, you get merit certificates and, as I said before, opportunities to intern with corporates such as Ericsson. Then we have regional champions. Now, regional champions from every region, north, south, east, and west, we get a certain number of registrations. We have created this different section for them where they get rupees 2,000 each as well as merit certificates. And don't just worry, not just for the top 3, for also our top 20 rank holders, we offer rupees 1,000 along with merit certificates. You also have to understand, as I said before, it's not just the course material we provide, right? It's also webinars. We do webinars daily for you to have lectures with intellectual property experts to learn about different facets of IP. And even in those webinars, you will get certificates from IPTSE. For those of you who are interested in participating in webinars and having certificates to show that your involvement in innovation is so high, this is a great opportunity. Testimonials. Here is a testimonial of Sangeeta Sharma, who's our All India Rank 1 in the 3rd edition of IPTSE. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but please have a look.
My name is Sangeeta Sharma and I have secured an All India Rank 1. I'm a second-year law student at Gujarat National Law University. My name is Soundarya Rathod. I'm All India ranked 2nd for the IPTSE. I got to know about IPTSE through one of my college seniors, T-Bank. My elementary education about intellectual property started in my school itself. We were taught about the basics and the various types of intellectual property about WIPO and GAT in 11, 12 standard economics. And I studied a little more by myself for CLAT and other law entrance exams. But I would say that I started learning about IP rights and management properly in my 3rd year of college. And I instantly got fascinated by it. And fortunately, I have the most amazing professors who are constantly helping me in college. So I'm actually planning a full-fledged career in intellectual property laws and management for my future. Intellectual property is such a valuable asset right now in these modern times, and I think every future entrepreneur or lawyer should have a comprehensive knowledge of it. So I'm equally interested in information technology laws and media technology laws. And both these fields also require a deep understanding of intellectual property rights. Right now in my academic life and internships, I'm trying to fully focus on these subjects especially. And there is a lot of potential in these fields, and that's why I think IP knowledge will prove to be highly beneficial. I saw the announcement for this exam on Lawcrifers. It's a platform for all law students. And I instantly realized that this is an amazing opportunity for a law student like me. When I was reading about this exam, I understood that this would be a great step towards my goal. This exam and even the preparation of the exam would certainly give me an edge over my other peers. And that's why I mainly chose to take the IP exam. So it was a very unique experience for me personally, because this was the first Olympiad type exam I took online sitting at home. And while I was giving the exam, I was actually COVID positive. So the settings around me were different than usual, and compared to other exams or other Olympiads and competitive exams I have given, there was still the feeling and the slight pressure of giving an exam. The exam itself went very smoothly. There were no technical issues, and it just went very smoothly, and I applaud the organization for it. There were some tricky questions, and I was honestly having fun while trying to answer them. The questions were a mix of objective and case study type, so it was a mix of competitive exams that I've already given with the type of questions that I get in my college exams. So the difficulty level was also balanced, and I really enjoyed giving the exam. Though I did not expect to secure a national rank, but I knew that I had given my best, and I hoped for the best possible results.
I'm sure you guys hear what they're saying. I will be sharing the entire presentation so that your teacher can share it with you. You can look at these. If you actually want to watch the entire testimonials, You can go on our YouTube channel and you can watch these. These are 2 rank holders of the last edition, the first and the second rank. Sangeeta Sharma, who's the first rank, won 40,000 rupees with a merit certificate as well as internship opportunities with Ericsson. And Saundarya Rathore, who was second position, won 25,000 and internship opportunities. So you understand how much IP can really help you, and IPTSE can really help you in furthering your career prospects in this time. Now, careers that involve intellectual property. Like I said in the beginning, many of you sitting in this meeting, watching the YouTube live would be wondering so much, why should we even care about IP? It's not related to our subject. We're not studying law. We're not studying political science. We're not studying creating things. But the fact of the matter is that we live in a really internet-driven world today, right? Whether you're a musician, a filmmaker, a writer, a researcher, a designer, a photographer, lawyer, painter, whatever it is that you are creating something and giving it out to the world, right? So, for example, you are an architect and you're giving out something, a design to the world. And in the world that we live in today, it's so easy to exploit and use somebody else's creation. So, how do you safeguard your design? How do you safeguard your photos? How do you safeguard the music pieces you make or the writing articles that you write? You do it by knowing about IP. You do it by understanding that this is your property and anybody else who uses it without your permission is infringing on your right. And all of this can be understood for you students, whether you're an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer or a researcher, whatever you're doing, you must have a knowledge of IP. And that can be done through giving this IP Olympiad by being certified for your knowledge in IP and also getting a chance to know more about this domain by cracking the examination with a great score. The timeline for the 4th edition, I said the Olympiad is about to start in a couple of months. Our registration has already begun and we're almost closing in on it. By 31st October of this year, the registration will have closed. Now we also offer you a mock test, right? So whether you choose a basic pack or you go for a premium pack, we already have a mock test for both, which will take place on the 14th of November. And it will give you a great insight as to what are the questions that are going to be asked for you in the main exam. The main exam is in December. It will take place on the 12th of December 2021. And the announcement of results as well as the award ceremony will be taking place next year. The tentative dates for both are 15th of January and 28th April, respectively. How can you crack the IPTSE? Now that you've understood that IPTSE is really important in your career shaping, it is no matter who you are, no matter what you do, IP can really help you. Now that you've understood that and want to register for the exam, you would be wondering, how do I crack it? Well, firstly, go to our YouTube channel. There's a lot of free content, webinar, IP trivia on our YouTube channel that you can learn from, that you can look at, and you can read of former testimonies, as I showed one before, of former winners that can really help you in understanding what to do to crack the exam. Now, many of you might be wondering, okay, for example, you're an engineer, right? Or you're studying engineering and you wonder, well, IP is a subject that law students study. So wouldn't a law student have an edge in the exam over me? Well, specific categories for different university students who are studying different things. There's a certain part in our website called course curriculum. If you go onto that course curriculum, you will read that there is different syllabus. There is a different kind of exam we'll be creating for engineering students, for law students, for architecture students. So it's not like somebody else of your age might have a competitive edge over you. You will only compete with those who are from the same domain as you are. So there's nobody who can get a chance to score more than you just because they study a certain subject. Whether you are a fashion designer or an architect or a doctor, engineer, studying to be all of these things, it doesn't matter. You are safe and you will only be studying a certain syllabus that we have provided for students who are studying these subjects. And I'm sure, as I said before, the booklets on our website are covering various topics curated by IP experts. If you read those booklets, I don't think you need to study anything more, not just for this Olympiad, but for knowing IP in general. Those booklets cover almost everything you need to know on intellectual property. government and industry partners. As I've said, IPTSE is supported by so many organizations, and these organizations all focus on innovation, on research, whether it is AICTE or the Department of Science and Technology or MIITY Inspire or ICT division, even corporates such as Ericsson and several others are supporting IPTSC because they want to further intellectual property in our country. And it starts from you guys. You are university students as well as the faculty in your university. You all have a chance to learn more about a subject that's going to really influence the way we look at technology in the future years, and you're getting a chance to certify your knowledge in it. So I'm sure you should go for this exam, and really, I hope that you can score great, get prizes, get scholarships, as well as internship opportunities. And that's our presentation for today. If you guys want regular updates on our exam, if you want to know about the kind of questions we have or see testimonies of our former winners, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. The links of it are given here. Thank you so much for watching our presentation. Arnav, you can now take over.
Thank you very much, Saisha, for the lovely presentation. Now we will quickly dive into today's podcast. Within 30 minutes today, we will attempt to clarify all your doubts about intellectual property as well as its importance. We will also discuss IPTSE and its registration process along with the reading course materials, benefits, awards, and strategies to crack the exam. Our interaction involves members of the IPTSC team as well as Dr. Sheetal Chopra, an honorary advisor to IPTSC. She is the director at Ericsson India IPR policy. She also serves as a resource person at Kapila, the Ministry of Education, and is an adjunct professor at OP Jindal Global University. Please welcome Dr. Sheetal Chopra. So my first question to you, ma'am, is how does IP literacy help in gaining better job prospects?
Yeah, sure, Arnav. I'll be happy to respond to that. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. So you mentioned about Sasha's lovely presentation. I think it was very informative and exhaustive. So she's doing a great work. I think you guys have become a role model for everyone because you are already in the domain of IP. I remember when you were just recently passed out and you had just come for internship, you wouldn't have ever imagined where IP could land you to a place. Today you are hosting the event, you are creating your own work. I think the entire presentation that you guys have prepared, it's your own intellectual property. And all the engineering students out here, faculties who are hearing, I must congratulate you all that you are joining this live event. This itself is a first step towards achieving a competitive edge. Because believe you me, not many people are aware of this subject matter. It's only the blessed ones will get to know and will be able to do better in their life. I think आप क्योंकि engineering college से हो, and engineering is a stream which is heavily R&D intensive. I'm sure some of you must be doing mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and so many other domains of engineering. I'm sure आपने ये ज़रूर देखा होगा कि which all are the companies you would like to work with when you've done your degree. And you must have seen what are the kind of R&D that those companies are already into. How many patents are being filed by those list of companies who you wish to be them to be your prospective employers. And imagine if you are already aware of IP and tomorrow when you send a resume to these companies that why should they choose you is generally a question by any employer. And knowledge of IP will certainly and hopefully will help you in getting better job as prospects like Saisha already mentioned. In US and Europe, people with IP learning, with IP literacy, they are paid 45% more than people who do not know about IP. So it's a great opportunity for all of you, whether it is AICT or any other government body such as DPIIT, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, or Atal Innovation Mission. In fact, entire country is actually really working towards making India most progressive in terms of more innovations And your college, I really congratulate that you have shown interest in entering into this domain. And I hope with the course material that are provided by IPTSE team to all of you will help you. It's like a tiered level of reading material. First, you will find something very basic so that you know, at least you appreciate the basic nuances of IP. Then it becomes a little bit more comprehensive. And so I think for job prospects, for better career shaping, engineering जरूरी नहीं है कि engineering करके ही रुक जाना है. I think you can do have a law degree alongside or an MBA or do some courses on IP that will help you in getting better advantage. Arnav, I'll stop here and give it back to you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. So my next question to you is, why should the students present here with us or any other student care about IPTSE? How does it benefit the students?
Yeah, like I said, it benefits students immensely. I mean, you guys are blessed ki even at such a age, you are able to, learn about this subject matter. People don't get to know this that early, and you will certainly have more advantage when you appear for any internships or when you appear for any interviews. It will really help you a lot. So you must learn it. Not only कि ये मुझे इससे क्या फायदा होगा, but every citizen in India must learn about intellectual property, because yeah, young minds such as you are always on a thinking mode, and you always look into what are the problems that are existing. You may never know, you may come up with something with a super excellent idea. Like Saisha just showed you some testimonials, and she also showed you some news clippings of school and college students who just came up with some device and they were able to license it to some of the big companies and earn royalty and revenue. It's like being Atmanirbhar. It's like being entrepreneurial. You don't have to really seek for a job, but you can actually create jobs if you are aware of the basic nuances of IP. So therefore, Arnav, to answer to your question is that it will help them receive that competitive advantage.
Thank you for the insightful answer, ma'am. So, Saisha, my next question for you is, you very skillfully walked us through the registration process and benefits of IPTSC. Can you suggest measures for students to crack the exam?
Sure, Arnav. Thank you for your question. So I think we've covered it in the presentation, the amount of course material that IPTSC provides, whether it's the booklet on prior art searching, whether it is career and monetization of IP or industrial laws. These are all presentations that really help you, or sorry, booklets that really help you in understanding this entire concept of IP, the subject of IP in great detail. And if you've read these booklets, if you buy the premium pack and go for the 14 deck of presentations that we have, and if you view those presentations, then it's enough course material for you to study. That's enough. You don't need to study more than that. However, we also have webinars, weekly webinars in which we have industry experts come in and talk. So if you can join in those webinars, these are some basic things that you need to get good marks in the examination. However, if you want to go more than that, if you want to be in the top 20 rank holders, if you want to get scholarships and internship opportunities, I will encourage you to sit with your friends, sit with them together as you all register for the exam. Have a small study group, go to our Instagram account, read through the questions that we post daily, kind of really become proactive in studying on IP, because that will take you a long way, not just for the IP Olympiad, but also for your IP knowledge in general. And try to read more about the news that's coming in, whether it's copyrights or patents or trademarks or whatever it is. It will take you a long way in understanding this subject and using it to monetize your creations, to safeguard your creations in the future.
Thank you very much, Saisha. So my last question to you is, can you explain to the students about the quarterly interactions that have been planned for the registrants of the 4th edition?
Yes, so we have many, as I said before, many interactions. So whether you're a basic plan holder or a premium plan holder, you will be part of these interactions. Just the number of interactions for both will be different, in which we can clarify all your technical, academic, any administrative doubts that you might have relating to the exam or IP. And if you have any of those doubts, you can join those interactions once you've registered for the exam and ask us those doubts.
Thank you very much, Saisha. Thank you, Saurabh sir, Sheetal ma'am, and Saisha for being so generous and providing us with such useful and concise answers. Now the floor is open for any questions the students might have. You can put the questions on the chat window and the team will be glad to clear your doubts and queries. Okay, so there
Yeah,
is a
I
person.
don't think there is anything yet. I think Sasha's presentation was super good. Thanks, Arnav, for inviting us today.
Okay, so it appears that the students' doubts have been successfully cleared in today's podcast. If you still have any further queries, you can write to us at inquiry@iptsc.com. You could also connect with Mr. Praveen Jain, who can in turn connect you with our team. So, with this, we come to the end of today's podcast. I sincerely hope that the students have enjoyed the event and that SKIT Jaipur will have several registrants for the IPTSC exam. Before leaving, I once again thank Mr. Praveen Jain for his cooperation, Mr. Saurabh Sachdeva, and Dr. Sheetal Chopra for their constant guidance, Saisha for being so diligent and obliging, and to all the students of SKIT Jaipur for being such great sports and bearing with us. Thank you all. We hope to see you again soon. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
Arnav.
you, everybody.
Thank
Shubh,
you,
you,
everyone. Thank you so much.
Shubh, you can end the meeting and the live stream.